Salam. Today, we will be studying Chapter 2, 2.6, Class 11 Statistics, according to PTB syllabus. Let's learn the common uses of graphs. First, graphs are useful for checking assumptions made about the data, either probability distribution assumed. 2. The graph provided a useful subjective impression as to what the results of the format analysis should be. This serves as a check on calculations or statistical methodology used. Next, graphs often suggest the form of statistical analysis to be carried out, particularly the graph of a model fitted to the data. Number 4, and an important one. Graphs give a visual representation of data or results of statistical analysis to the reader, which are usually easily understandable or more attractive. Number 5. Some graphs are useful for checking the variability in the observations or outliers can be easily detected. Now before we start looking at the different types of graphs, here are some important points to remember for drawing a graph. Firstly, a graph should be neat or clean so that it may have an attractive impression. 2. A graph must have a title at the top. The title should be clear or complete but concise. Number 3. A key, footnote, or source note should be used where needed. Number 4. A suitable scale should be chosen. 5. The independent variable is usually marked along the x-axis. Number 6. The dependent variable is usually marked along the y-axis. And remember, always start the vertical scale from the origin or label the axis. Okay, that's all the background information. Here comes the detailed lesson about types of graphs. Let's start with simple bar diagram. Bar diagram is used to get an impression of distribution of discrete or categorical data set. To construct a bar diagram, take the variable or categories on the z-axis and the values corresponding on the y-axis, like you see here on this graph. Multiple bar diagram. It is an extension of a simple bar diagram or used to represent two or more related sets of data in the form of groups of simple bars. Note: the main purpose of a multiple bar diagram is to compare the same characteristics of variables, like here we have the categories A, B, C, till E. We take two corresponding groups corresponding to those categories. We can compare the values of G1 and G2 by placing them side by side in the graph. It helps us to visualize the difference between the values of both groups. Next is the subdivided bar diagram. Subdivided bar diagram is a simple bar diagram that represents the total. It is possible to divide it further into different segments. Remember, subdivided bar diagram is also called a component bar diagram. Here we take a similar example like before. We take categories A till E and corresponding values of two groups, which we compare. But unlike comparing the two groups side by side, like in multiple bar diagram, we get the total of both the groups and divide the total into the two groups in a vertical graph as shown in the figure. Next is pie chart. The pie chart diagram is a division of a circular region into different sectors. It is constructed by dividing the total angle of a circle of 360 degrees into different components. To obtain the angle of each sector, this is the formula. Have a look at the table in the diagram. If the categories are A, B, C till E and the corresponding values are 30, 50, 40, etc. To find the angle of each sector of the pie, we divide the value i.e. 30 by the total values and multiply it by 360. Why multiply by 360, you ask? A circle has a total of 360 degrees, and it helps us to find the angle of each sector in the 360-degree circle. Let's learn about histogram. A histogram is usually a graphical representation of data to get a visual impression of its distribution. A histogram can be constructed for two types of quantitative data: continuous grouped data and discrete grouped data. First, we have discrete data. The primary value is on the x-axis and the corresponding frequencies are measured along y-axis, as shown on the graph. Next is the histogram for continuous grouped data. We take the continuous classes on the x-axis and frequencies on y-axis and plot the graph accordingly. Remember, histogram do not have spaces in between. As here, the classes are usually class boundaries which also do not have equal upper and lower limits, i.e. no spaces. There are further two types of continuous grouped histograms: equal interval histogram and unequal interval histogram. The concept is simple. In continuous grouped histogram of equal intervals, the class boundaries are equal. Thus the width of each bar of histogram is equal. On the other hand, in an unequal interval histogram, the interval of class boundaries is unequal. Thus the width of each bar of the histogram is irregular. Here are the advantages of histogram. First, it gives a range of data. Second, it gives the location of the data. Number 3, it gives a clue about the skewness of the data. And number 4, it gives information about out of control situation. Next is frequency polygon and frequency curve. A frequency polygon is a closed geometric figure used to display a frequency distribution graphically. To make the frequency polygon, we calculate the midpoints of the class boundaries and mark the midpoint values on the x-axis and the frequencies on y-axis. Then we mark the midpoints with the corresponding frequencies on the graph using a dot and then connect all the dots to make a frequency polygon. And frequency curve is simply a smooth version of the frequency polygon, which is useful to have a visual impression about the data. Lastly, we have scatter plot. It is used to analyze the relationship between two variables. A scatter plot is the best way to study bivariate problems, which we will actually study in the next lecture. A symbol, a dot, or cross, x, is used to represent a data pair on the graph. We mark the scatter plot using the corresponding x and y values, and we plot a point at the exact location. The bivariate data is usually of two types: paired measurements of the same variable or paired measurements of two variables. In same variables we take like morning and evening values of a day, and in two variables pair measurements we can take the height and weight of students. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe.